Puka Nacua is arguably the best receiver in football, but was the 20th receiver drafted in the 2023 draft and was the last pick in the fifth round. He's averaging 96.9 yards per game and is a big reason the Rams have been so good and might be the part of the best QB wide receiver duo in the league. We'll be looking at the 20 receivers taken before him in the 2023 NFL draft. The first wide receiver drafted was Jackson Smith-Njigba, who is the only receiver in this draft you could argue is better than Puka. He got off to a slow start his rookie year, only going for 628 receiving yards and was wide receiver 3 behind Lockett and DK. The year 2 he went off for 100 catches and 1,130 yards, and this season he might just be the best receiver in the league, almost already surpassing his yards from last season with 1,041, which leads the league. Quinton Johnson had a rough rookie year, only catching 38 passes for 431 yards and 2 touchdowns. He did better year 2 with 711 yards and 8 touchdowns, but still had drop problems which were a major concern. He's having a solid year this season with 501 receiving yards and 6 touchdowns, and looks like he's defeating the bust label even if he's not wide receiver 1. Zay Flowers has been a solid wide receiver 1 for the Ravens, being Lamar's go-to target and works the middle of the field really well, finding the soft spots in the defense. He's averaging 70 yards a game this year, but only has 1 touchdown so far, and has overall been a solid pick in what the Ravens were looking for. Jordan Addison had a great rookie year, putting up 911 receiving yards and 10 touchdowns, and followed it up with similar stats his second year. He's missed a few games this season, but has been solid and looks like a great wide receiver 2 successor for Justin Jefferson. We have the first disappointing receiver in this class in Jonathan Mingo. Mingo had a rough rookie year, only catching 43 passes for 418 yards, but it would only go downhill from there. He was super unproductive for Carolina the first half of the 2024 season and got traded to Dallas, where the Panthers somehow finessed a 4th-round pick out of him. Through those 8 games with Dallas, Mingo only had 46 receiving yards and hasn't appeared in a game this year, and doesn't even have a touchdown in his career yet. Jaden Reed had a good rookie year, finishing 6th in Rookie of the Year voting with 793 yards and 8 touchdowns, and had a similar year in 2024 with 857 yards and 6 touchdowns on less catches. Reed hasn't played since week 2 due to a collarbone injury and hasn't been that wide receiver 1 Green Bay has been continuing to search for, but he's still a good weapon for Jordan Love and led the Packers in receiving yards in 2023 and 2024. The Chiefs taking Rashee Rice in the second round was considered to be a reach at the time, but Rice has been everything the Chiefs were hoping for on the field, but not exactly off the field. Rice had an impressive rookie year, catching 79 passes for 938 yards and 7 touchdowns. Year 2, he'd suffer a season-ending knee injury and get suspended for the start of this year, but since coming back, he's caught 20 passes for 215 yards and 3 touchdowns in 3 games, and is Mahomes' best weapon. The Broncos took Marvin Mims at the very end of the second round. Mims hasn't put up great receiving numbers and is on pace to finish under 500 yards and is the team's wide receiver 3, but he was an all-pro returner and Pro Bowler his first 2 seasons, so even though he's not been great at receiver, being an all-pro kick returner does have some value. Tank Dell looked like a steal in the 3rd round after his rookie year, going for 709 yards and 7 touchdowns in 11 games, but his season was cut short due to injury. In 2024, he took a little bit of a step back, only averaging 47.5 yards per game, but suffered a bad knee injury, which caused him to miss not only the rest of that season, but also all of 2025, but he should be back for 2026. A lot of people are high on Jalen Hyde and really liked his speed and thought this was a good pick for the Giants, but he's just been disappointing. He had an underwhelming rookie year with 373 yards, but it only got worse from there, having 62 last season and 17 this season. He'll probably end up getting cut from the Giants, and similar to Mingo, it looks like his career is pretty much over. The Browns picked Tillman, making it back-to-back receivers from Tennessee. He hasn't been great, but he's been good enough to see the field, even though he's on the Browns team that has no good receivers, but also as a QB that can't throw. Through 30 career games, he has 63 catches, 680 yards, and 5 touchdowns, which is worse than some of the receivers drafted before him in just their rookie year, but it's good enough for him to stay in the league. Downs flew under the radar his first two seasons, putting up around 800 yards each season. This season, he's only averaging 35 yards per game, but they also have a ton of people they need to get the ball to. So it's not really his fault. The stats are a little down from the first 2 years. And he has to be the best wide receiver 3 in the NFL. Michael Wilson has been alright for a late third round pick and is more of a wide receiver 3 than 2, but the Cardinals just don't have anyone better. His catches per game, receiving yards per game, and touchdowns per game this season are at a career low. Trey Tucker didn't get much action his rookie year, only starting one game and finishing with 19 catches, but is now the team's wide receiver 1 after Jacoby Myers got traded. He's having by far the best year of his career, averaging 50 receiving yards per game and has 4 touchdowns, which is already a career high. Darius Davis only has 3 receiving yards this season and hasn't had more than 15 catches in a season and really only returns kicks and punts for the Chargers, not getting much action in the receiving game and only has 31 snaps played this year. Similar to Davis, Charlie Jones only returns punts and kicks for the Bengals and only has 8 career catches and hasn't caught a single pass in 2025. Tyler Scott got some playing time his rookie year, finishing with 17 catches for 168 yards, but only caught one pass in 2024 and is now currently on the Rams practice squad after being cut by the Bears. Justin Shorter is the only receiver so far to not have a catch in the NFL after missing his rookie year due to injury and was cut by the Bills. He's appeared in 17 games for the Raiders the past 2 seasons, only playing special teams. Wicks is the last receiver that was drafted above Puka Nacua. Dontavian Wicks had a pretty good rookie season, finishing with 581 yards and 4 touchdowns, but is only averaging 25 yards per game these past 2 seasons. But the Packers also have so many mid-wide receiver 2s and 3s to get the ball to, and they don't really have anyone that stands above the rest, but for a fifth round pick, he's been pretty good.